Good afternoon, my loves. Welcome to Maverick Baking and welcome to another chocolate review. Today, I am visibly excited because we are talking about a brand from the other side of the planet that I have wanted to sample for a very long time. As you may have seen a couple months ago, thanks to the absolutely delightful Josh of itsjosheats, I received a little kind of snack package filled with all sorts of Canadian goodies, sweet and salty. Now, two of the things that were in here, admittedly, it has taken me far too long to get around to tasting, but today we are finally doing it. We are talking about chocolate from Beta 5. Now, Beta 5, though, do correct me if I'm wrong, is like a pastry shop, chocolate shop, all kind of dessert haven by the look of it. Super popular place in Vancouver in British Columbia. Josh was an absolute angel in sending me a couple of these without even knowing how much I wanted to try this brand, and I can't wait to taste them with you guys today. So we're going to be tasting two of their products. The first is going to be the Technicolour Crunch, which is a caramelized white chocolate with coffee beans and puffed wheat. And we're then going to be tasting this delicious sounding madness, which is the Dessert Nerd, made with white chocolate, freeze-dried strawberry, rainbow nerds, the little kind of crunchy candy stuff, and Pop Rocks. And I'm really excited. So I want to try the Technicolour Crunch first, just because it's still early in the day, not that the weather or the lighting would let you know that, and I'm in the mood for coffee. So let's get into this one. The packaging, I'm already such a big fan of. White is not a colour you often see associated with chocolate, or at least not this much of it, and the design is absolutely gorgeous. The kind of fonts they've chosen, the colours. This is also a kind of collaboration with a roasting company in Canada as well, which I love to see, companies kind of joining forces like that. And you might be able to see that on the back, they've got this kind of uneven, all broken geometric packaging. It's just really nice to see companies put in a bit of effort into the packaging, you know, because there's so many that don't. This beautiful bar, which out of the cardboard packaging is inside this kind of plasticky looking packaging here, looks gorgeous. That color, I may be wrong, but I think the last time I saw a mold like this was when we tasted chocolate from Frankly Delicious, which is a UK based brand that also have this kind of geometric vibe going on with their chocolate bars. How stunning. The smell is immediately breakfast. It smells like cereal, coffee. It smells amazing. So let's break off a little piece. And still a very good snack considering the fact it's caramelized white chocolate. And let's taste it. Yum. Not only does it smell like breakfast, it tastes like breakfast too. So obviously the immediate kind of big strong flavor you get is from the caramelized white chocolate. Very glad to both see from the ingredients list and feel that cocoa butter is the main ingredient, because the chocolate is smooth. It's so easy for brands to make a really chalky, powdery white chocolate with the addition of far too much sugar, far too much milk powder. It just becomes this very chalky, vanilla-y, almost like a fudge, which, while it's, you know, pleasurable in terms of taste, in terms of palate, it coats your teeth, it doesn't feel good. This, on the other hand, feels like luxury. They've managed to caramelize it so well and make it so nutty and toasty in flavour without it being overwhelmingly sweet, which for a caramelized white chocolate is really difficult to do. If you think of the Cadbury Caramilk or the Nestle Caramac bar, RIP, it can often be so rich and overwhelming and indulgent that it's just is too much. This, I could wreck this whole bar in seconds without any problems because it's so balanced. It's smooth, it's sweet, it's toasty, it's crunchy, it's nutty. The puffed wheat in there makes it feel like I'm eating a lovely bowl of like good quality cereal and milk, but like the first few teaspoonfuls where it's all still really crunchy. While the coffee, I must say, for being a collaboration with a roastery, is super subtle, it's a good coffee. You're not tasting it and tasting burnt or bitter or that kind of instant coffee flavor that so many kind of coffee chocolates can taste like. It tastes like coffee and cereal together, and it's so good. I can't stop eating it. While I have yet to have the pleasure of visiting their store where they make all this gorgeous stuff, this tastes like chocolate made by a pastry chef, if that makes sense. It doesn't taste like just chocolate with something. This feels like a whole thought through dessert. In terms of color, taste, texture, everything, it's just beautiful. If you like white chocolate, if you like cereal, if you like coffee, if you like caramel, if you like anything nutty, it's absolutely gorgeous. And for that, it's a solid 5 out of 5. I can't wait to finish it off camera. I'm sorry. But shall we move on to our even madder sounding bar, the dessert nerd. Now this one, while it excites me, is one that will probably take a bit more convincing. It will take a bit more convincing to get me to love it, because super sweet candy type things with chocolate, for me personally, can be a big hit or miss. If it's done well, it's great. If it's too much of one or too much of the other, it can just be a really kind of sickly experience. But let's get into this one. So just as a reminder, this one is white chocolate with freeze-dried strawberry, rainbow nerds, and pop rocks. Look at this. Look at this. It's like a birthday cake in a chocolate bar. On top, it looks like almost like it's been frosted and then with sprinkles added on top. And on the back, you can see that kind of golden white chocolate color with those pop rocks in there. Immediately, there's a smell of that freeze-dried strawberry powder in there. Super skinny bar, despite that gorgeous kind of geometric design. There is very little snap, and that's to be expected with this amount of ingredients in there. Let's see how it tastes. Lime immediately. Sweet, creamy, sour, crunchy, almost juicy in flavor thanks to the nerds. I've now had it in 4 different mouthfuls, and every single one has been different, which is crazy. I have to say the strongest flavor you get immediately and also in the aftertaste is the lime zest, which isn't actually kind of advertised as part of it, but it really does fit. The freeze-dried strawberry is there, it's super subtle though. You then have creamy vanilla from the chocolate, and then you start biting into the nerds. And of course, because they're all different kind of fruity flavors, every single mouthful becomes different. One of them was super lemony, one was super limey. Because they're really fruity, it completely bursts through everything else you're eating, giving it that almost like juicy feeling in your mouth. They're crunchy, the pop rocks add a little bit of crunch. Much like the last bar, even if I preferred the flavors of the last bar, this again feels like a chocolate bar made by a pastry chef. This is a dessert that's in the form of a chocolate bar, is how I would describe it, because you have all of the elements you'd like to have. Maybe missing a little bit of salt for those being super picky, but even for something with such sweet and hyper-colored, hyper-flavored ingredients, it's not actually that overwhelming. It's light, it's fun, it's really well made, it's well thought through, it's beautiful, it's balanced. So though I prefer the other one in terms of flavor, this one is still very impressive, and I would give it, again, a 5 out of 5. I'm so happy that today's review turned out the way it did. Having followed the brand for a while on Instagram, obviously, there's only so much you can tell from pictures and from videos and things like that, but it looks like a proper, serious pastry place, and their chocolate is transmitting that perfectly. And this is me eating it months after this chocolate has been made, which is my own fault, and it still tastes just 5 out of 5. Josh, if you're watching this, thank you so much again for kind of confirming my view of what this company is like and for sending them in the first place. It was so generous of you. I'm so grateful for it, and I'm so glad that basically everything in that box turned out to be delicious, apart from the cherry thing, but we'll leave that alone. If you guys have tasted anything from Beta 5 before, if you're based in Vancouver and you know who I'm talking about, do let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what you think, or if you think one of these bars is something you would like, let me know. That first one I'm about to devour immediately. But I'm afraid that is all I have time for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for the next one.